Hello and welcome to Weird World Weekly, a production of Galactic Netcasts. I'm Dave Nelson, and my cohort is here. He's a cohort. You're a hort, Matt.
Better a hort than a whore.
That's what I was leading you into.
Attaboy.
Yeah. Matt Stein. Hello, Matt.
Hello, Dave.
How are you?
I'm terrific. How are you?
No, we're not going to start. We're not going to say terrific. We're not going to say bay. I hate bay.
Can I call you Boo?
No.
Hey, Boo. No, that's fine. I'm good. It's 40 degrees in the middle of December right now, so I can't complain.
Speaking of weird, the weather is just totally off this year.
We got 3 inches of rain between Saturday morning to Sunday night.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's El Nino in full effect, that's for sure.
Yep.
All right, welcome to the podcast where we talk about the odd, the weird, the strange, the unusual in the categories of the paranormal, mythological, conspiratorial, or anything else that we find weird. And speaking of weird, I know that before I've asked you in previous episodes.
Today's your turn.
Yeah, if anything weird has been going on in your life, I have to say that I'm right now speaking to you from the center of weirdness. It was only a few feet away that the other day I got touched by something. I don't know what the hell it was, but I hightailed it up the stairs. Toot sweet. I haven't ran that fast in a long time. It was freaky. Hello? You there?
So you literally, I thought the story was longer. So you literally ran upstairs though when something touched you?
No, I didn't run upstairs. Okay, so I was bending over. I was moving things from one part of the basement to the other. And as I was bending over to pick up a box, it was like the best comparison would be if you were bending over near a wall and your ass touched the wall, right?
Yeah.
So it was like I was bumping into a structure of some kind, but there was no structure there.
Weird.
Yeah. And it came off the heels of my wife waking up at sometime early in the morning, hearing somebody going down the stairs. She thought so much that it was our daughter, Layla, that she yelled for her. Like, she yelled Layla because she thought she had gotten up and gone downstairs.
Huh.
Yeah, there's some weird stuff happening in our house. So, real life weirdness right there.
I'm not envious of you at all. You keep it.
It comes in spurts, though. It's not constantly weird things happening. It's every once in a while, like a few things will happen. Then we'll go for a long time without nothing happening, and then it'll happen again. It's strange. It's very strange. All right. Do you want to talk about some other weirdness?
Isn't that why we're here?
Yes, that is exactly why we're here. It's a good thing that we called this podcast Weird World Weekly. And if you want to get a hold of us, we have a brand new email address. It's weird@gncasts.com. That's weird@gncasts.com. So if you have any kind of feedback on what we're going to talk about on this episode, email us or leave us a voice message by calling 805-328-3966, 805-328-3966. You can watch our episodes on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Galactic Netcasts, or find this show and our other podcasts at our website, gncasts.com. That's gncasts.com. All right, Matt. So how this podcast works for those just tuning in for the very first time, we've got this big wheel, right? This wheel has all of our stories on it. Do you want to explain what happens next?
You spin it.
Like the wheel, like on Wheel of Fortune, you would spin the wheel.
I'm too tired to come up with some elaborate story about the wheel and how it spins. So we spin it.
Okay, so the wheel has our stories, like you would have, like the denominations of money, or miss a turn or whatever it is on Wheel of Fortune. So those are our stories. Spin the wheel stops, and that's the story that we're going to talk about.
Absolutely.
Okay, our story choices this time around: Poison Snow, conspiracy theory, 10 strange mysteries from around the world that are still unsolved. The Krampus Legend. Christmas is coming up. We'll talk about the Krampus Legend, or we might be talking about it. Haunted tunnels with really creepy backstories, wartime monster sightings, and the Devil's Tramping Ground. So, would you like to do the honors and spin the wheel and find out what we're going to talk about on this episode?
I would love to.
All right, here we go. All right, Matt. What's it gonna land on? What's it gonna stop on? Do you want to reveal it? What is it? What are we going to talk about?
We're going to talk about the Krampus legend.
No, we're not.
See, and that's you're staring at me, and I'm like, you're going to have to edit all this out. But I was like, we didn't agree. Okay.
I guess we didn't talk about that. Okay.
Oh.
This is how the sausage is made, my friends.
The Devil's Tramping Ground?
The Devil's Tramping Ground. There you go. That's what we're going to talk about. The wheel just happened to land on that story randomly, and that's what we're going to talk about this week.
We're so prepared.
Yeah. Okay. So, the Devil's Tramping Ground, this came to us from listener of the show, Matt Ridley. It's his suggestion. And I found it very interesting, since we've been talking about these weird places on the earth recently. Like, we talked about that place in the Pacific Ocean. What was it called? The Devil's Triangle or something like that?
The Dragon's Triangle?
Yeah, there was two names.
Yeah. But I believe Devil's Triangle was one of them.
The Devil's Tramping Ground. See, there's the devil in both names. So it's somehow related. But it's not really. It's not really related. It's just related by name. So here's the deal on the Devil's Tramping Ground. About 10 miles east of the town of Siller City, North Carolina, on a country road near Harper's Crossroads, is a wooded area. In those woods is a circle perfectly round, of about 40 feet in diameter, where nothing except a type of grass known as wiregrass grows. A path around the circle has no growth at all. It was given the name Devil's Tramping Ground because locals believed that the devil himself walks the path going around and around, all the while thinking of ways to destroy mankind.
No wonder he's so pissed off. He just walks in a circle all the time.
And he's thinking about one thing and one thing only. Talk about obsessive compulsive.
Yeah. Get your stuff together, Satan.
He has one thing in his life. He just wants to destroy mankind, and he's thinking about different ways of doing it all the time.
Well, what happens when he destroys mankind? I don't see what to do.
I know. He needs a new hobby, I think.
Take up needlepoint.
He could very well do that.
Sounds like something Satan would do.
Okay, so where was I? In the morning, he turns himself into a crow or other animal and sets out on a mission to carry out whatever devious plan came to him in the night. So each night it's a different plan. One theory is that the circle is the result of using horses in a mill many years ago. Now, wait just a second. So what they're saying is the devil story is not real. They're saying that there could be another logical explanation to why there's this circle.
Yeah, so the story that is supposed to be the story about the Devil's Tramping Ground instantly contradicts itself.
I know. What the hell? What's going on? I don't like this. I don't like it at all. Okay, so another theory is that the spot was once a sacred place for Native Americans who used to perform war dances there, and such would explain why the circle is barren. So they'd be doing these, the dances where they go in circles.
Mhm.
So they'd be going in the same circle all the time, and they
But
just wore it down enough that nothing grows there anymore.
I call BS, because even where grass is bare, if there's grass nearby, it will still kind of like leach over. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So for it to be constantly bare all the time. Plus, if it was just a circle that they were doing, you'd think that only the circle would be bare instead of a circle and all the area inside of that circle.
Yeah. So there is problems with both these theories. It's
Oh,
that
that's a first.
is that similar spots elsewhere are now overgrown with plant life. So other places in the world where these type of explanations may have occurred as well, there's plant growth where those circles are. So it has to be one thing and one thing only: the devil. The devil is doing it. He's there, going in circles all night, thinking of ways of destroying mankind, and then turning into an animal and carrying out those plans.
Go figure.
Stupid
Damn
devil.
you, devil.
The North Carolina State Department of Agriculture once took a sample of soil and determined that the area was completely sterile. Completely and utterly sterile. Couldn't grow a single thing there. Going a step further on the creepy scale is the fact or belief that any object placed on the path surrounding the circle will be moved by morning. Many people have tried this and claim to come back the next day and see the item laying in the bush beside the path, or the brush beside the path.
Because I mean, if you leave something sit outside overnight, it is 100% not a possibility that someone else will come by, see it, and move it.
No, Matt. What's happening here is the devil's going in circles. All right.
And he kicks it as he walks by. And
he's like,
I hate this can.
I can't have that there. I gotta kick it in the bushes.
It is in my flight path. I need to move this.
Yes.
Crotchety Satan.
Throughout the years, tales have been told of people attempting to stay the night at the circle, trying to catch a glimpse of who or what is moving the stuff off the path. And although many have tried, as far as anyone knows, no one has stayed the entire night.
You're gonna hurt your throat doing that.
Who are you talking to?
You?
That was the devil. That was the devil. He was laughing.
Do you forget that we record these using video?
Damn it.
I seen it.
It was supposed to be theater of the mind, Matt.
Oh, sorry. Damn you, devil, laughing in our podcast. I'm really bad at playing into those things. I'm sorry.
We have 3 people on the podcast now. We have you.
you, me, and Satan.
Yeah, Satan's here. Welcome to Weird World Weekly with Matt Stein, Dave Nelson, and Satan.
And the devil.
Yeah. So what do you think of this theory? What do you think of this place? What do you think it really is? What do you think is really going on?
I mean, looking at pictures, it's hard to tell. I mean, it just looks like an unkempt area of land. It looks like a lot of people seem to have fires in the middle of it all the time, which could also lend to the fact of why that there's really nothing growing super close to it. There's weeds and stuff coming in around, like a distance away from the center, but I don't know. I guess it. Where's this? North Carolina?
North Carolina, yes.
I would be curious. I mean, when I'm reading about it, I kind of want to go, but I don't want to stay the night. Not that I really believe that someone would go insane, but if they do, I don't want to find out.
Yeah.
By staying there, I'd be really curious. Hopefully, maybe a listener has been there or knows someone that's been there, and you should then tell us what it's like.
Yeah, I would love to get some feedback on this from somebody that has either heard the story or has actually attempted to stay the night.
Yeah, and I mean, the fact that it's just kind of in the middle of the woods helps the creepy factor, I guess. But I don't know. There's got to be a logical explanation. The devil just doesn't walk around in circles. He has much better things to do, like eat pizza.
He's got the entire world You know, that the whole world's his domain,
Yeah.
not just that place in North Carolina. Stupid North Carolina. He's just stuck there. If the devil has as much power as stories have claimed, legends have claimed, he's got the ability to venture off into other areas.
Yeah. Apparently, though, in looking for pictures, I found that there's an aviator brewing company in Verina, North Carolina, that makes a beer called the Devil's Tramping Ground.
Really?
Yeah, which doesn't surprise me at all.
Maybe we should expand the theme that you have going on your other podcast Tour, where you theme up a beer with a movie title. So if there's a beer with the same title, a beer's name with the same title of a movie, then you review the movie and drink the beer.
Yes, I like drinking beer.
Okay, so from now on, it's your
Oh,
job to do your homework, get the beer, and then get it ready for the podcast.
okay, fair enough. I noticed that Krampus was on the wheel, and there is a Krampus beer.
Wow.
But I haven't had it yet. I almost bought it. I did not.
You know, I getting back to the subject at hand here. I love these types of stories. These are the favorite kind of stories that we cover, are areas of the world that have legends surrounding it, right? Like,
yes, I agree.
didn't we
I like them too, just because there's some reality to it. No matter how hard you try and kind of debunk it, there's still reality to a physical location.
Yeah. Because even if there's nothing like paranormal going on, there's enough like superstition and freakiness about it that even if you went there, you would still get the heebie-jeebies, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I would be curious to know, going to a location not knowing it was haunted, supposedly haunted, and then finding out the story and going back and then seeing how you feel, like the difference in how it feels to you.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Like we said, we would love to hear from somebody who has either been here, heard of it, know of somebody that's been there, or whatever. Any kind of association to the Devil's Tramping Ground. Our email address is weird@gncasts.com. Weird@gncasts.com. You can call that voicemail number, which is 805-328-3966, 805-328-3966. Check out the website, gncasts.com, for all kinds of links, including how to subscribe to Weird World Weekly. There's also the Galactic Collective, the inner circle of special Uber fans, Uber listeners of all the Galactic Netcast shows. And you can become part of the Galactic Collective by going to the website, clicking that link, and giving your minimum $1 a month recurring donation to help us support various back-end things that we need to pay for, like the web hosting and the audio hosting and that kind of stuff. Am I missing anything?
I don't think so. Turkey recipes, still waiting.
Yeah. Yep. Need that. Also, if you're subscribing through iTunes, please leave us 5 stars and a positive review. That's going to do it for this episode of Weird World Weekly. Damn it, Matt. I ran out of sounds. Until next time, Matt, what do you want to do?
Keep it weird, Dave.
That's exactly what you want to do. We'll talk to you next time. All right, hang on. I'll just fade that off.
That's fine.
Just stop it. There you go. Hang on.
I'm sorry, you're gonna have to edit out that whole middle with the Krampus screw up.
It's okay. I'll figure it out. All right, hang on. Let me save this. No biggie. We should have talked about it more before we started.
Well, I should have known because we agreed to not spin for that one.
Yeah, but don't worry about it.
So stupid. Sorry.
Weird World Weekly 49, right? Yeah.
Yeah, we're doing 49 and 50.
All right. The freaking heater came on now.
It's a rough day over there, isn't it?
I hate doing podcasts in the wintertime because you got the heat going off, you got the water heater turning on and off.
I mean, your water heater only goes off in winter.
Yes, only during the only during the winter.
How is it? What's your temperature like? We were talking
It's
about weird weather, so I forgot.
Yeah, it's been warm. The last couple of days, though, it's been colder. Like, for example, right now, the temperature is, stand by. It is 0 Celsius, so 32.
32?
Yeah.
But
it's windy. It's windy. It doesn't. It feels colder than 32.
It's super windy here too.
Yeah, it's weird.
Oh yeah, it's 39 here right now. So
yeah, it's supposed to warm back up too. So we're definitely going to have a brown winter, not a white winter.
Yeah, which happens.
I'd actually like to go back and do more editing than just taking that part out. I was really kind of struggling there for a bit.
I didn't think it was terrible, but we've done better.
Yeah, we have.
Been a while since we've done one.
Yeah, no. All right. That's down at the bottom. So let's talk about Krampus here. All right, I'm going to turn off the heat. Hang on.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, let's just dive in here. If you're ready.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to turn the mic off and start the intro. Here we go. Merry Christmas, happy holidays. Welcome to Weird World Weekly, a production of Galactic Netcasts. I'm Santa Dave Nelson, and this is my trusty sidekick elf, Matt Stein. Hello, Matt.
I wasn't sure if you were going to go with Elf or Mrs. Claus. I got a little concerned.
I was on the fence. I could have made you like the Grinch or some other like interstitial holiday character. What would be another character that would not be an elf, not be Mrs. Claus or the Grinch or Santa that we could
I mean, Krampus. I could be Krampus.
Okay.
Which works today.
Yeah, no, because that's what we're going to talk about. This is the holiday special for Weird World Weekly. We have put the wheel on holiday. Mm-hmm. It's the wheel is taking Christmas off, so no spinning the wheel this time around. And we're going to talk about Krampus. But before we do, I would like to direct everybody listening over to our website, gncasts.com, and check out more from Galactic Netcast, because if you only listen to this podcast, you're missing out, because there's a whole lot more where this came from, including your podcast, Matt. What's it called?
The Podcast of Terror. It's all horror stuff. It's a good time.
Or if you listen every week,
we've decided to call our fans potheads. Entirely on
terror.
Yeah, entirely on accident. Corey was just running names out. He goes, "Oh, we could call them potheads," and I was just kind of like, "Are you sure?" And I know he's from California, and that's recreationally legal there. But
so, Corey is your sidekick on Podcast of Terror, and you guys talk about horror movies. And is it just horror movies or other horror-related things?
It's been a lot of horror movies. I try and do anything horror-related, but now that Halloween's over, it's really difficult. So I did some horror video games in there, and I wanted to do haunted houses, but I didn't really get to any that I thought were worthy of talking about. Mm-hmm. So we've been sticking with movies.
You could do
beer.
TV shows. You could do TV shows.
We did, yeah, we did. We did Scream Queens, and we're gonna go back and do it once I finish the whole season. So we'll do some TV shows, and we haven't talked about Ash versus Evil Dead. We talked about it on What Else Is On, but not on our podcast. We should probably fix that.
And there's also like I don't know. There's those reality shows. I love that show. I'm not telling you what to do, by the way, Matt.
I like
telling-
ideas. I always ask for ideas because and I've said it before. We do it for the listeners, so I don't want to just always be like, "This is what I." And I totally did this to Corey on the episode that just came out yesterday. Well, yesterday from when we're recording this for Santa's Sleigh, which was the WW or WCW starred Bill Goldberg movie.
Mm-hmm.
He plays Santa and kills everybody. And I wanted to watch that movie forever, and finally I'm like, this is my reason to have to watch it. And Corey hated it, and I'm like, this movie's so good.
Okay, so like I was thinking that Paranormal Activity show that I watch would be kind of it's not really a fiction-based narrative. It's more of a reality show.
Are they still putting out real for new episodes?
Yeah, they just got done with the latest season.
Really?
It was a really good season. It was the best season so far.
I know a guy that was on it for a bit.
You told me that on a previous show, I think.
Yes.
So there's Podcast of Terror, your show. We've also got the Alien Invasion podcast. We have the Sci-Fi Geeks Club. We have Adventure Party. What else is there? There's the Doctor Who podcast.
Yep, the Galactic Gaming.
It's all there at gncasts.com. So go ahead, check it out. And also on the website is all the subscription information to subscribe to this and all the other podcasts. We provide the iTunes links, the Stitcher links, all that kind of stuff. So centrally located, all at gncasts.com. All right, let's start. Since we're not going to do the wheel, we don't really have to necessarily run down our choices that would be on the wheel. So we can just jump into talking about Krampus, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so Krampus, probably most people know Krampus by that movie that came out this year, right?
And it seems like Krampus has become really popular this year. Like, I first remember hearing about Krampus on The League a couple years back. There was an episode where Taco dresses up as Krampus, and that was like my initial exposure to him. But yeah, it came out in 2012. That episode came out, and now there's multiple Krampus movies. We're talking about Krampus. There's the Krampus beer that I mentioned on the future, whatever. There's Krampus beer, and there's a Krampus parade someone was talking about too. Which all of these things could have existed long before I saw this episode of The League.
And it did, and they did. I mean, this has been around since like the 11th century.
Right, but like with all things with the internet, all of a sudden they blow up, and then everything's all over.
Everything old is new again because of the internet. Yeah. Yep. So, okay, let's break down exactly who Krampus is. Santa, of course, has long been the symbol of Christmas, bringing joy and presents to all the good little boys and girls. But if you are a child in Germany, Austria, and other parts of the Alps region, there may be something much more dark, mischievous, and grumpy hidden in the shadows next to dear old Saint Nick. And this is worded this way from the article I got this from. So this is not me writing it in that weird, cheesy way. That's the website where I got this from. And that something is, of course, Krampus, the Christmas demon. See, I like the idea of Krampus because I don't see anything wrong with putting a little fear in your... Maybe I shouldn't say that.
No, but you figure the United States had the Grinch. You know what I mean? It was like, oh, he's the bad guy who steals Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
The Germans just went straight. They didn't screw around. They made a demon who, what does he eats you? He eats your soul.
Something like that, yeah.
So we essentially did the same things, but because we're wimps, I guess is the only nice way to put it without an explicit rating.
Yes.
it's the Grinch. He'll just kind of steal your stuff instead of just eat your face off.
Yeah. So it's a kindler, gentler version of Krampus, the Grinch.
For those with a soft side.
Yeah. Yeah. So a Krampus is a beast-like creature with fangs, fur, and horns. Krampus announces his presence with loud bells and terrorizes the kids who have been naughty during the year. So when you're naughty, you won't just not get presents, you'll get terrorized.
Yeah.
You're going to pay for your crimes with Krampus. That's what we're trying to say here.
Which I think is funny that they've created a demon to like keep children in line and having them act as they should.
It's interesting evolution of society, right? I mean, there's been a lot of these really dark things in the past that don't really exist anymore because we've kind of evolved as a society, right? Like we don't need these kind of things to keep people in line either, because it not just this kind of thing, but like the mythological stuff, right? Like creatures that we've talked about on this podcast in episodes that came about during a time when society or human beings needed something to be fearful of, right?
I don't know if it's so much that they don't exist as there's with the amount of information available due to the internet, it is easier to kind of weed through what is real and what's not real, and you can kind of overload yourself on information. Whereas back when you and I were kids, you had to wait to hear it from someone.
Yeah,
someone had to hear it from someone who heard it from someone who heard it from someone whose grandma saw it on something, and then that's how you hear it. Now I can go online and just type weird German Christmas demon, and it all just shows up, and it's both really nice and it sucks a lot.
I think the reason that we don't have these kind of things in our society anymore, these kind of myths and legends, is because we're a lot smarter than we used to be. Like we know things.
Have you talked to a normal teenager lately?
Or fans of Donald Trump?
Oh,
possibly.
Well, that doesn't affect you. It only affects me.
No, but I'm telling you, it affects me too. Don't worry about it. It affects the whole world.
But yeah, I think it's a blessing and a curse to have the internet. And even when I first got the internet, you had a dial-up modem that was slow. So even doing internet research to do your homework was difficult, let alone reading mass quantities of information on demons from other countries to keep kids in line. So yeah, there's that.
Okay, so Krampus gives the bad ones beatings with a whip made from birch sticks and horsehair and nightmares. So Krampus not only beats the kids, he implants nightmares into their head.
That's awesome.
The worst thing ever, yeah. As for the really, really naughty kids, Krampus drops them in a sack or a wicker basket on his back and whisks them away to his lair, which is, of course, the underworld, never to be seen again. So in the days of yore, you really, really didn't want to like be a bad girl or boy, because Krampus could potentially take you away and you'll never see your family ever again. Yeah. So how did this mythological beast come to be part of this region's Christmas tradition? You may be asking yourself.
I am. I don't know this, so I'm waiting for this.
Okay. So according to Norse mythology, Krampus is the son of Hel, the goddess ruler of the underworld. Hel, that's Hel, not Hell. So it's a female creature or female thing, whatever, the goddess ruler of the underworld. There are also a few physical similarities between Krampus and Greek mythical creatures like the horns and hoofs of satyrs and fauns. I don't know what satyrs or fauns are. They're apparently mythological creatures from Greek mythology. Scholars estimate that Krampus started appearing around the 13th century, if not earlier, perhaps in the 11th century, originating in southern Germany and Austria, the area known as Bavaria. They have the best beer in the world, don't they?
I mean, I've had Bavarian beer, and I thought it was really good, but I don't believe I've had beer in Bavaria, which is on my to-do list for my life.
Yeah, bucket list time right there, definitely.
Absolutely.
The creature moved to other European countries such as Switzerland, the Czech Republic, Hungary, and even the Alp villages of Italy, sometimes with variations on the name and practice customs. For example, in Tyrol, a state in Western Austria, Krampus tends to look like a giant sadistic teddy bear. I like that a lot. Giant sadistic teddy bear. In Western Germany, he actually arrives with Santa, sitting shotgun in his sleigh. In Styria, that's southeast Austria, the birch sticks used for his whip are painted gold and displayed year-round to remind kids of Krampus' impending arrival. So for the longest time in this part of the world, Krampus was just as prominent as Santa Claus was.
I apparently don't get out much.
Well, I mean, how would we have before a certain point in time known about this Krampus fella, right?
Well,
I mean,
you figure when people came here from Germany and Europe and stuff, that it would have just kind of
oh yeah.
came with.
Well, I mean, sometimes when people immigrate to a new country, right? They want to shed their old ways, the old world ways, and adapt to your new society that you live in, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe that's the case here. Okay, so as Christianity took over the region, Krampus was altered to match changing customs. So he was even around before Christianity kind of took hold in this region. No longer thought of as a pagan tradition, he was given chains to show the devil being binded by the church. So he was less of a devil or from hell before, and more like just a bad creature, right? And then Christianity took hold, and he became kind of more like the devil, right?
Yeah, which is weird to me. You think it would be the other way around.
Well, I don't know, because Christianity tends to do that. They tend to take like certain traditions and certain beliefs of the pagan world and make it into a Christian thing and make it more black and white. Like there's less gray in Christianity and more black and white, sort of, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Try to, at least.
So soon Krampus was attached to Saint Nick, a Christian saint, and the owner of his very own feast day or celebration on December 6th. This is before Saint Nick was part of Christmas. In many parts of Germany and Austria, Krampus was awarded his own night on December 5th, called Krampusnacht, or Krampus Night. Krampus bounds around making loud noises and scaring kids. The night is still celebrated in the Alps region, with it being customary to offer Krampus a drink of warm schnapps. Now, I got a great idea for you, Matt. I have a fantastic idea.
Okay.
You need to go to Germany and check the whole drinking Bavarian beer off your list, right?
All right.
You need to go there in December and then make a side trip to, where was it? It said Austria? No. In the Alps, somewhere in the Alps, where they celebrate the Krampus night, because that sounds like a really, really fun holiday, right?
I completely agree. And that shouldn't be that hard to do.
No.
I'm trying to think. It's right around our wedding anniversary, so I can disguise this as a wedding trip or a wedding anniversary trip.
Because that would just be a fun night to like an excuse to drink schnapps, right?
Yeah. There's a Krampus night in Detroit.
Oh, we don't have to even go to the Alps.
No, but I'd rather go to the Alps than Detroit.
Yeah, that's true. Although I'm guessing that hotel rooms in Detroit will be a lot cheaper than the Alps, right?
I'm not sure.
Just
I wonder if they have like a Holiday Inn in the Alps.
yeah,
Probably not.
I don't know, or one of those chain hotels.
Yeah.
But
I'm
that's
gonna have to start looking into this.
yeah, I think you should. That'd be a fun thing to report on. Tell us how the trip was.
I will do my best.
So that's it in a nutshell for Krampus. Are you scared? Are you going to be nicer next year, Matt?
I don't think I was really. Was I mean this year?
No, you weren't.
Oh, okay, okay.
But I don't know. I don't live with you. I don't live your life. I'm not with you all the time, so I don't know if you were,
I haven't
mean.
like slapped any children lately.
Okay. But I mean, maybe something that you would think is not that bad might be bad, and you might think of Krampus next time. You're like, oh, maybe I should be nicer to Janice in accounting because Krampus might whip me with the whatever those things were that he whips.
His hair whips.
Yeah, yeah.
So
All right,
gross.
I think that's our first ever holiday special on Weird World Weekly. I believe. I don't think we did one last year.
I don't even remember how long we've been doing this.
No, we've been doing it for more than a year.
Oh, okay.
But that's our holiday special. I hope that everybody has a good Christmas, a good holiday. We'll be back after the first of the year, Matt, taking a couple weeks off. So I hope that you have a great holiday.
You too, Dave. Do you celebrate Christmas in Canada? That was a joke.
Of course we do.
That was a joke.
Leave us feedback, weird@gncast.com. Call our voicemail number, 805-328-3966. Don't forget to join the Galactic Collective at gncasts.com. And like we said earlier in the show, make sure that you visit the website to find out more about our other podcasts and how to subscribe to this one. So, Matt, until next time we meet on Weird World Weekly, what do you want to do?
Keep it weird.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Wow, talk about hitting the post, as they say in radio.
I don't know what that means.
Okay.